Another wrong marriage. This is the first time that Mark is acting like a man because Vivian has really pushed him to the wall. My people, in this episode, my love for Helen has really increased. Every day is for the thief, but one day is for the owner of the house. My people, before we go more in detail in the review of this episode 54, please, if today is your first day of coming across my channel, do well to click on that like button, subscribe for more updates, and also don't forget to leave your own opinion down in the comment section. God bless you for watching. Please, I want to know the location where you're watching my video from. Without wasting much of your time, let's go more in detail. Remember that this is a review. You can watch the full video in Mr. Aloy channel. I'm just giving an insight. I'm trying to educate people based on what I understood in this episode because it is really a mind-blowing. Recall in episode 53, Vivian planned with her mother. Her mother told her that since Mark is no longer in charge of the company, that since her husband Mark is no longer the CEO of the company, that she should immediately sweep whatever that is in the company's account, that she should move all the money immediately. And she acted as directed by her mother. She went home straight and moved all the home money. But she thinks she can get away with it. The following day, that is in this episode 54, Ben went to the office because according to him in episode 53, he said that there is going to be a serious audit in the company to know all the transaction that has happened in the company's account. Only for him to call the accountant and for them to notice that the previous day that every dime in the company account has been moved out. One thing I have to tell you in this episode, I really learned a whole lot from this. If you marry a senseless woman, please don't allow her to be in charge of any meaningful position in your life. And if you marry a senseless man, please be very careful. Don't allow him to be in charge of anything serious in that relationship because at the end, you are going to be doomed, just like Mark. How could Mark, act of love, love, allow Vivian to have access to the company's account, to have the pin to the company's account? What was he thinking? And remember again, when the first son refused to act as one, the younger son should take over the position of being a first son because that is what is happening at the moment in this episode. Because Mark, he has refused to be the first son and now Ben is taking over. According to their mom, they left the company in Mark's position, in Mark's care for years, but nothing to write home about. Yeah, that Ben should be allowed to take in charge and to take control of the company. And I bet you, assuming Ben has been the one in charge of the company, I know by now they would have increased more than where they are today. That is to tell you, when you have a senseless man as a first son, please don't allow him to remain as a first son. The younger son that has sense can carry on because exactly this is what I've learned in this episode. And also be careful of who you marry. And when you know the kind of woman you marry, you are going to live long. Because if Mark should be very careful with Vivian, I don't think that all these things coming up now would have happened. Guys, immediately that Ben noticed that nothing again was left in the company's account, he went home and there was a serious gbasgbos. He punched Mark to the extent of squeezing life out of him. He taught him a bitter lessons of his life. He squeezed his neck up to the point of ending it all for him. There was a serious gbasgbos between Lisa, the girlfriend of Ben, and also Vivian. Their mother called Helen immediately to come home from work, that there is a serious gbasgbos in the family. Immediately, Helen appeared. I love Helen for one thing. Helen is a woman of her word. She is a strong woman. She is a woman that will say no and she will maintain her no. Immediately, she entered. She controlled everything as a strong woman that she is. Kudos to you, Helen. You really acted very well in this episode 54. After the gbasgbos, Mark entered inside immediately. While Vivian was eating, He asked Vivian straight because he knew where the issue is coming from, because Ben has said, if you can't provide this money, this is your end, Mark. This was coming from Ben. Immediately, he entered inside and dragged Vivian. Vivian, where is that money? Give me that money immediately. Hey, this is really the end of Vivian. Immediately, that Mark ordered him to bring the money, because Mark knows where the issue is coming from, because no other person has access to the company's account apart from Mark, the accountant, Ben, and also Mark. And Mark released it to his wife. You know the kind of woman you married, and you let her to have access to such account. What do you think that will happen? Guys, in this episode, Mark acted like a man for the first time, because Ben has threatened him that if he didn't bring out the money, that he should expect the worst. Immediately, he started punching Vivian to bring out the money. He locked the door for Vivian to know that he was very serious. Even Helen and her mom came to save Vivian, but there was no way, because the door was already locked. My people, like seriously, what happened in this episode really opened my eye, because hey, when you think that you can have everything in this world, we end up having nothing. When Vivian was planning evil, thinking that he's going to succeed, that she's going to succeed to have everything, she will end up not having anything, because the eye of Mark has really cleared in this situation, because he understands better at this moment where his problem is coming from, that his main problem is Vivian, for moving away the company's money, moving away every dime that was in the company's account. After the whole punching, later when he was done punching Vivian, Helen and her mother came to her rescue. Guys, what I want you to learn in this episode is that in this life, don't take anyone's calmness for granted, because one day the person will turn to a lion and eat you up. Just know it. Because Vivian never expected that Mark will act in such a way. She never expected it. He punched her to the extent of losing it for her. Like, hell. Now, Vivian's mother that sent her to move the money, was she there to receive the punching for her? That is to tell you that no one in this life should ever force you or push you to do what you know that is not good. Because when the repercussion comes, the person will not receive it with you. Because Vivian received every damn beating from Mark alone. The mom who sent her to transfer the money was not there again to receive the beating with her. That is to tell you that anything you're doing in this life, your eyes should be very clear. As I said before, I've learned a whole lot from this episode. Like seriously, I've learned a whole lot from this series entirely. It has really transformed my life, the way of thinking about marriage, family, and relationship. Indeed, a whole lot has happened. Kudos to you, Ben, for standing up to be the man you are. And again, kudos to you, Mark, for waking up to act as a man. And a very big thanks to Helen for being a strong woman. Guys, what do you think about this episode? Leave your own opinion down in the comment section. Do you think that the way that Mark punched Vivian was right in order for her to release the money? And do you also think that the way that Ben reacted and acted on Mark was the right thing? Guys, what do you really have to say about this? And remember, for more interesting and amazing updates, kindly subscribe and turn on your bell notification. Click on the like button. God bless you for watching, and see you in my next update. Remember, this is just a review. Yes, you can watch the full video from Mr. Aloy channel and this YouTube. God bless you guys for watching.